Hello, everyone. We're from Baldwin Park Adult and Community Education. A little bit about Baldwin Park. In Southern California, everything is freeways. That's how you know where you are, is the freeways. And we are at the corner of two of them, the 605 and the 10. We're also, claim to fame, the home of In-N-Out Burgers.
That's impressive.
I know. Everyone should have one. A little about our school. We're at 4640 Main Avenue in Baldwin Park. The one picture at the top is our Performing Arts Center, which is well used by the entire valley. And so that kind of puts us on the map there too. We serve about 3,500 students, and our programs include adult basic education, adult secondary ed, ESL, career training, and older adults. Our group, we have Jessica Bayardo, who teaches high school diploma and high school equivalency and ESL. Yes. We should have put that on. Yes. Sorry. I teach adult basic education. In the afternoons, I work as a mentor to the other teachers. Mark Steimle is the high school diploma, high school equivalency, but he also teaches the concurrence and the distance learning. No, that's independent study. Independent study. We also, on our committee, included Dr. John Kerr, Veronica Valenzuela, and Susan Gare was our OTAN mentor. And we attribute a lot of our opportunities and the vision for our program from John. We started with our tech plan. That's where our project came from, and then also how it was developed. And so the first year, our tech plan included that we would create 2 online Moodle courses. And they were going to be in the high school department, and they were going to be English composition and integrated math A, because those are the first 2 programs that most high school students have to face once they're in the program. We wanted to integrate them into the courses and have 60% of the current ESL students using them. The second year morphed a little differently. We would be integrating the courses and seeing how well they were received, but also we wanted to do something with the consortium, and this was something that was born from our director, Dr. Kerr, because he saw that a lot of people in the consortium needed help with online training and knowing how to do Moodles, and so we learned the first year and we taught the second year.
Okay, I'm up. Thank you. Developing an online blended course is time-consuming, but definitely worthwhile. I can personally say I appreciate and I'm grateful for the experience. It has provided the students the time, and they're able to focus on the important lessons in the face-to-face instruction and the convenience for completing easier assignments online. Now with the PBL, the students were given an opportunity to work in a group to complete a project. They were given a topic and they were assigned tasks for their groups. The tasks included a presenter, PowerPoint slides, internet research, and pictures. Once they were done with their projects, they presented their projects in front of students, teachers, and an administrator. It was also videotaped. It was a success, and the students were able to see their strengths after the presentations were completed. In the future, we discussed maybe the students can review their presentations and see what they can make improvements. Now, for the leadership skills, each team member possesses different strengths, and we use them to encourage other instructors at our school site to integrate technology in their classrooms. We wanted to approach them with ease and give them different ways, options to use the technology in their classrooms. For instance, I feel my strength is being informative, and so This last year, our ESL department hired 4 new teachers, and I gave them orientations. And during the orientations, I gave them information on the textbooks, CASAS testing, updates, additional assessments. And in my last orientation, one of our new with that new teacher, he was big on technology and he wanted to see where the cow was. And so I went over to a room where the cow was at, and by coincidence, it was in a room where one of the teachers did not use the cow on a regular basis. So when I was showing him how to use the Chrome notebooks with the online program for the ESL class, she saw that and she came over and she became interested. So just doing that little small act there of showing one of our new teachers how to use the Chrome notebooks, she became interested, and now she's using it on a regular basis. So being resourceful and informative is very important. Communication skills. We are very lucky to be working at the same school site. So we stay in contact through emails, meetings, or we just simply walk over to each other's classrooms and discuss what we need to discuss, talk about tasks and completing them. And for students, I feel personally Remind app has been the best method of keeping communication open with my students. In the first year of our DLAC project, I used Facebook and my Gmail account. Well, not my Gmail account, but my school account. And not all the students had Facebook accounts, and not all students know how to access their accounts, their email accounts on their phones. So with the Remind app, there's no excuse. I did it as a lesson with all my students in ESL and ASC. We uploaded the app on their phones, and now they have no excuse to, message me or, keep me informed if they're going to miss class. Or if I could make a classroom assignments, or just, talk to them. In order for us to stay focused on the DLAC project, we had the team members had meetings, weekly meetings, and to discuss tasks and how to complete them. And we also had monthly meetings with our director, and that was to update on, to keep up to date with issues, accomplishments, and future goals for the team. During the first year, Mark and I were able to complete 2 ASC courses, online blended courses. I did the English composition course, and Mark did the integrated math course. They've been a success so far. The students are using them, and they're taking advantage of using them and graduate sooner. As for my English composition students, we just use Gmail accounts to stay in contact, Google Docs to do writing assignments. At first, they did not care to. They wanted to use Microsoft Word, but our school has deep freeze in all the classroom computers. So I would have to tell them, if you do it on Microsoft Word, you're not going to have your work saved. So after a while, they got used to using Google Docs. And I'm constantly reminding them, if you use Google Docs, you can access your documents anywhere from your phone, and as long as you have the internet available. Okay. What's next?
So hi, I'm Mark Steimle, for those of you online that don't know me. And so I have a question for you guys. How many of you guys have graduation this week or coming up soon? Okay, so I'd like to talk to you about what's going on here. I am the kid in line who is the last kid in line at graduation, and you're all hoping, God, is this going to be over soon? And for those of you online, I want you to know that I'm facing a room full of people, and I'm the last person between them and lunch. So, please be merciful. All right. So the second class we put into play was Integrated Math A, and the reason I chose that class was because I teach independent study, and the class I was struggling with the most with my independent study students was Integrated Math A. In the classroom, you had a lot of one-on-one time. It was easy if a student got stuck, you could just help them then and there and they could progress, or you could even, if you got to a point where You could even have a regular schedule of, you're meeting with the student in class during a certain time and going over concepts. But independent study, you didn't have that luxury. So what I did was develop basically a video walkthrough of the program. So they would be able to watch the video, work on the textbook, meet with me once a week, and life was better for the student who was able to work and see the video, and it was better for me because the students were being more successful, and I was able to. And when I would meet with a student for independent study, it was more focused on, okay, we're taking the test, we're doing our paperwork for the week, rather than getting caught up in a half-hour session of trying to deal with, okay, this is how you deal with a quadratic equation. So better for everybody. Really excited about how that worked out. And as one thing I discovered too is it was great for the students in my class, because if they were working on it, they could watch it, and they were quite happy about that. One of my students said, I really like having videos of you and Mr. Steimle. And I said, oh, why? And he said, I can stop you whenever I want to. I think he meant he could stop and think about it, but I don't know. Anyway, so. Added improvements as a result of the DLAC project. We got hooked on Remind. Jessica is using Remind. I was attempting to communicate with students on different technology platforms, and I had middling success, but then in the DLAC program we were introduced to Remind, and I looked at the program and got really excited about it, and now I communicate regularly, basically usually about once a day with my students on Remind. Just notes about what's going on, things to be aware of. And I have my senior director also on my Remind. So he's able to just kind of see, oh, okay, that's what they're doing today, or, oh, that's cool, student did this, or, it kind of keeps other people in the loop too. So that's a really exciting program, and I'm excited to see other teachers in our school start to use it as well. So that's been something that's come through the DLAC. Kahoot as well from DLAC. Kahoot was something I'd seen before DLAC, but it was one of those deals where if you didn't get enough time and somebody's showing you how to do it right, you didn't use it. And so after that, after the DLAC process, did start to use it, although not as much as Miss Jensen, who I call the queen of Kahoot. Okay, she really is on fire with Kahoot. Presentations at conferences around the state. The idea behind DLAC was that we would be trained and then go out and kind of evangelize. We would be out there working with other teachers, and so we feel that we did a good job of doing that. We presented so far twice, once at Palm Springs at the CCA conference, and one at the symposium we just had at Napa Valley. Particularly the one we had at the symposium, we were really excited about that one. We had a room packed full of teachers. You could really tell that they really wanted to know the nuts and bolts of how to get their Moodle going. And so that's been an exciting part of the program for us. Inside our own consortium, as Jessica said, Dr. Kerr wanted us to reach out to other people inside the consortium and give them training on how to set up a Moodle class. So what we did was we offered a Friday morning class to anybody in the consortium. And what we did was we went first to a consortium meeting where it was basically a room full of administrators. And we said, hey, we are willing to train your teachers on how to do this, and we're going to charge you nothing. And that, of course, gets every administrator's attention, right? Anything that costs nothing, they're right. Oh, yeah, definitely. Sign them up for that. So we got 8 teachers from 4 different schools. And what we do is we train them Friday, once a month. And they were trained on how to set up a Moodle course. And they came from different backgrounds, ABE, ASE, CTA, and ESL. So different backgrounds, different needs. But we were able to work with all of them. So we went through and talk to them first about, you know, what it's going to look like when you're done, how you can set it up. And then this was the really key part, and this was part of our DLAC training as well, that we really gained a benefit from, was that you really need that one-on-one time. How many of you have gone to a conference and you saw something, you got all excited about it? Some sort of technology. And then you said, boy, I'm going to do that when I get back. And so you got back, maybe you played with it for a little bit, and then you got stuck on something. You got stuck on where to put this or a button or something. And then how many of you, the people online can't see you, don't worry, how many of you just said, I'll deal with it later, I'll deal with it later, and then you gave up? Right? That was me with Kahoot. I got stuck on something and I just, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'll deal with that later. And I never did. I never did. So that one-on-one time is critical because on our Friday sessions, what we do is we sit down one-on-one and we're either working with them on putting it together, or we can talk to them one-on-one about what they're stuck on. You know, I can't do this. I can't get a video into here. I can't make this do what I want. Oh, here's how you do that. And when you do that, teachers get re-energized and they're all excited again, and you know, they overcome that obstacle and they're able to implement the program, which is where we're at now. This is one of our teachers, Jessica Rogoff from Hacienda La Puente Adult School. And she is now one of all our teachers are implementing the program. And this is a list of the needs that she needed. Students need help to finish, students need repetitive, students have little time for on-campus instruction. And she has it up and running along with our other teachers. So we're really excited that it's not just a thing where we're going out, we're showing people, here's what you could do, isn't this cool? But we're actually seeing results where people are putting these programs into place for students. And it's all about getting it delivered to the students. So we're really happy about that. So at our PLC for the last year and meeting with Dr. Kerr, we're talking about what we want to do next year. And what we'd like to do next year is offer it again to consortium members, and to offer it to our own teachers as well. So, you know, just some different things that we might be working on. Might be working on Kahoot, Google Classroom, Zoom, Loom, Slack, StudyStack, Flippity. We'll see. We'll see. But basically, it comes down to whatever, you know, our guys want to work on. That's what we're going to do. And so we're trying to go with a model of, you know, what the customer wants. That's what we're going to give them. Changes made, we've got new classes, we've got a new position, we have a half-day distance learning advisor, Debbie Jensen. And by the way, that is really, really handy. It's great because if we have something we're working on and we're stuck with, or we have some question about, we don't have to make special arrangements, or, you know, I can just say, Debbie, can you come over and see me for a minute? And she's like, yeah, sure. And we get the problem fixed right away. So invaluable. We're hosting how-to classes. We talked about that. And fourth, and maybe most important, at least for us, is that we're seeing integration, a lot more integration of technology into the coursework at our own school, which was a goal for us as teachers, a goal for Dr. Kerr. It's something that we're really excited about, that we're seeing teachers, and some teachers that had been long-term, almost Luddites, you know, they were using rock and chisel, have now, you know, gotten to the point where, you know, they're using high-tech stuff in their classroom. Really exciting. Future, what we'd like to do, continuation of Tech on Friday, professional curriculum development, changing the culture.
Oops.
That's very French, culture. We're changing the culture at our site, one teacher at a time, going after that. And I think our team is really excited. I know that I'm excited to actually be thinking about doing another course and another one. As I'm standing here, I'm thinking, I have an art student that, man, I wish they could look at the video and say, and just go click and, okay, hi, I'd like you to do this project, and here's how you want to do it. But I got to wait till Monday to see them. So like I said, you know, we're excited about the future and what we're going to be doing. What we gained from DLAC and working with OTAN, focus. It's important to be focused. And I think that, you know, a lot of times we talk about being better at something, but it really encouraged us to focus. Encouragement, instructional and leadership, mentor, who was Susan, tech assistance, shot in the arm, and perspective for our future. Look good? A lot of work to do. Thanks, OTAN. Thank you, Susan Garrett. And, of course, the illustrious Dr. John Kerr.
Oh, thank you much.
Yay.